Hello, I'm Sheila Castaneda. I'm part of the General Education Program in the Indian Hills Community College, and today I'm gonna be reading Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes, written by Manilo Argueta. On the volcanoes of El Salvador live magic dogs called catejos. They look a lot like wolves, but they are not wolves. They move with the grace of deer, but they are not deer. They eat the seeds of the morning glories, those beautiful flowers that cover the volcanoes and look like little bells. The people who live in the villages on the slopes of the volcanoes have always loved the cadejos. They say the cadejos are really the grandchildren of the volcanoes. They say the cadejos have always protected them from danger and misfortune. When the people of the volcanoes travel from one village to another, a cadejo always goes along. If a child is in danger of stepping on a snake or falling in a hole, the cadejo will turn itself into a gust of wind and lift the child out of harm's way. If an old man becomes very tired working under the hot sun, a cadejo will carry him to the shade of a nearby tree. The people of the volcanoes say they could not have survived to this day without the cadejos. But sadly, not everybody has always loved the cadejos. No. Don Antonio and his 13 brothers who owned the land of the volcanoes did not like the cadejos at all. The cadejos bewitch the people and make them lazy, Don Antonio said one day to his 13 brothers. And Antonio's brothers answered, "Yes, it is true. The people don't work hard for us anymore. They want to eat when they are hungry and drink water when they are thirsty and rest in the shade when the sun is hot. And it's all because of the cadejos." So Antonio and his 13 brothers called in the lead soldiers to go up on the volcanoes and hunt the cadejos. The lead soldiers set out with their tents and their canteens and their shining guns. "We will be the handsomest and most respected lead soldiers in the world," they say. "We will wear uniforms covered with silver medals and go to the birthday parties and give orders everyone will obey." The lead soldiers marched toward the volcano Tecapa, who is a beautiful woman dressed in a robe of water and a hat of clouds. They marched toward a handsome volcano, Chaparrastique, with his hat of hot, white smoke. "Let's hunt the cadejos while they sleep," said the lead soldiers. "That way we can take them by surprise with no danger to us." They didn't know that the cadejos can put on garments of air and light that make them invisible. The lead soldiers searched and searched, but they couldn't find a single cadejo. The lead soldiers were furious. They knew the cadejos lived on morning glory seeds, so they began to trample the morning glories and crush the seeds. "Soon the cadejos will have nothing to eat," they said. Never had the cadejos been in such danger, so they went for help to their great-great-grandparents, the volcanoes Tecapa and Chaparrastique. All night long, the cadejos spoke with the volcanoes. Finally, Tecapa said, "The soldiers are made of lead, you say. Are their hearts and brains also made of lead?" "Yes," answered the cadejos. "Even their feet are made of lead." "Then I have a plan," said Tecapa. Tecapa spoke to Chaparrastique. "You have a steamed hut, and I have a dress made of water," she said. "You'll simply fan yourself with your hut until the ground gets hot, and then I will shake my dress." Tecapa gave her dress a shake. "What good will that do?" asked the cadejos. "Just wait and see," answered Tecapa. The next day, as the lead soldiers climbed the volcanoes, Chaparrastique took off his hat and began to fan himself until it got so hot even he couldn't stand it. At first, the soldiers only felt a tingling in their feet, but soon their feet began to melt. Then Tecapa shook her dress and got the soldiers wet. Their bodies began to sizzle like water on a hot iron. The lead soldiers felt very bad when they saw that their feet were melting. They sat down on the rocks to cry, but the rocks were so hot that their bottoms began to melt. That is how the lead soldiers realized they couldn't defeat the Catejos, nor trample the morning glories, nor go up on the volcanoes with evil plans. They saw that being made of lead was a weakness and decided to devote themselves to professions more worthy than soldiering. From that day on, there has been peace on the volcanoes of El Salvador. Don Antonio and his brothers ran away to other lands, while the Cadejos and the people of the villages held a big party which was later remembered as a national holiday. So Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes is a Salvadoran story written by Manlio Argueta, and in this case it was translated by Stacy Rose. And well, this story, as you have already heard, show us how Don Antonio and his 13 brothers couldn't tolerate the fact that the Cadejos were making people's life easier, and therefore make these people were living happier. And well, since Don Antonio and his 13 brothers couldn't handle this, couldn't believe this, couldn't tolerate this, they just tolerated this. They just decided to get rid of the Catejos, like hurting them, destroying them, and they sent these lead soldiers to do this. But as you can see, these soldiers weren't able to hurt them, and well, the Cadejos were able to manage this situation, asking for help to the Chaparrastique and the Tecapa volcano, which just tells us that we aren't supposed to be destroying other people's happiness. We are supposed to respect people, and if we need help in something that we feel like we can't handle it, well, it is always a good choice to look for other people and ask for help to other people who is able to help us in those kind of cases. So it was my pleasure to read this book to you all, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.